Hello everybody, my name is Hellkaiser and welcome back to Onee Chanbara Origin. It's been about a week or so. I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring lately. I just got in the groove and I was beating like every boss within the first 3 tries on each run, and I played non-stop almost for a week. So I figured it's about time to come back to Onee Chanbara. I don't know how much longer is left in the games, but we are on chapter... We're on chapter 21, and we're about to face off against Ava, I think is her name, or Eva. Oh, no, we're actually on chapter 22. So, I guess time to get started. I forgot how bad the loading times are. They're not too bad, but they're a little long.
Doesn't she always act weird?
You barely know her.
That's what I'd usually say, but yeah, she seems off.
How?
I hope we're just imagining things.
You meet a strange woman that you've never actually seen in person before. These girls have no idea about internet safety, do they?
There.
Oh, now I have 2 ecstasy gauges. Strike me, I dare you. See, it's sometimes the jump thing messes up, which is still one of the most problematic parts of this bloody game. I wish the AI could combo like that more often. It would make things a little easier. And I ran out of stun time. Did she actually swear there? I don't think I've actually heard any of the girl. Well, yeah, I think they do swear. I don't know. Japanese games don't really use a lot of swear words unless it's like in the translation, like because they don't use honorifics and stuff in our language, of course, but in Japanese, a way of being rude is just not to use the honorifics on the end of the name. And so I guess the only way to translate that in English is with swear words to indicate someone is rude. There we go. I wish that the AI was a little bit smarter, because having them help out occasionally is actually pretty good. Okay, there's nothing in here except for the goddess statue. Man, this camera, it's a bit too close to the girls, and I guess that's so you can see your $2 bikini DLCs or whatever you pay for. But realistically, the camera is way too close onto them for these very tight corridors that the game tends to like to put you in. So, trying to move the camera is more of a polite suggestion rather than actual full control of the bloody camera, which is a fairly annoying ordeal. Strike me down. Okay, not you, freaking wolf. Oh crap, switch girls. Man, it's hard to focus on their health gauges because it's just a small number on the screen full of bloody numbers. I feel like they might have needed to tweak that a little bit better. See, the whole top of the screen is actually unused. Okay, she actually has her own animation for taking down them, that's good. As I was saying, Devil May Cry and most traditional games like Bayonetta puts the health bar really big on the upper left side of the screen. This game just puts it down in the corner along with like the special finisher combo button and the blood gauge or the berserker gauge, whatever you wish to call the thing. And so there's not really a clear and concise way of being able to tell what is going on. I feel like it could have used just a bit more work. Oh, not... Whoa, 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 whoa. Take a chill pill, dude. Come on. Whoa. Strike me down, Darth. And I shall become more powerful than you ever imagined. Please, get over there to him. She's stuck in it. She was just stuck. I couldn't move her. Ow. Switch girls, switch girls, switch girls. At least their health regens fast. Okay, they're both ready to pop, so I need to be prepared for that. Oh, crap. So if you hit him, does that actually interrupt him from shooting anymore? I'm not certain. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not even hitting. Well, apparently it did. She's such a good hand-to-hand combat fighter, she can actually hit people that are beside of her and not even in front of her. Reminds me a bit of my mom's combat style. My mom, back in her day, they used to call her Muhammad Ali. She loved to fight. She still loves to, just takes her a little longer. Again, I'm not... Okay, that time it really didn't hit anything. Whoa. Okay, I'm popping. Okay, I got Pleasure of Ecstasy achievement. Oh yeah, because this is called the Ecstasy. Is it called... I thought this was called Berserk mode, or does it just... I don't even think this game really knows what it's called anymore. Where do I go? It's... Oh, there's still a dude over here. Okay, my screen's getting all cracked, but apparently it still wasn't enough for her to pop again.
Do you hear that?
Again, I hate how there's such a delay between the Japanese vocals and the English vocals.
Ray? Why
They didn't even fix the subtitles. And I lost my ability pop.
Of the Baneful Bloodline detective. Terminating at once.
At least there's actually something different to fight.
Used as test subjects for Baneful Bloodline research.
I'm popping.
What are they talking about?
Who cares? Kill them all is my philosophy.
No, they're definitely not Ray.
How do you know? They're dressed in the same uniform as Ray.
I never told you this before, but there are multiple Rays. They were all created by an organization. What? Organization? They're clones. My father taught me for using in baneful bloodline experiments, or we're all going for an undead weapon tests or whatever.
I'm popping.
Hundreds, tens of thousands of them, all with my same face. They pump them out one after another, all for their own nefarious purposes. There's
Man, the frame rate cannot keep up with this number. What the heck?
and even I have the power to change my destiny.
Okay, so apparently I just lost Aya. Oh, Lord, this is not going to be a good time.
The true me.
Why do they all just have knives? Ray has guns.
Wait! What are you? So all of these things are clones? Even Ray?
And she mentioned something about some organization. Damn it. What the hell is Ray planning?
Well, all you should know is that you shouldn't trust her. That's pretty straightforward. There we go.
Those things are even creepier than the undead.
I still can't believe Ray is a clone.
You're a woman wearing her underwear to fight zombies, and that's the least believable thing you've heard all day? Okay. Wow. What's her name? I can't. Saki's already almost leveled up to Aya's level. Just a 6 level difference. That's not. Well, I mean, we did get her pretty early. There we go. So how much? I got quite a bit of money. New rings and stuff. Okay. Good lord. Prepare for battle. Okay, shop. When it says commands, does that actually mean I can buy? No. It's just showing me my basic combos and stuff like that. See, there aren't that many combos. They do just give you, though, just enough combos, though, to make you happy. Okay, I can actually equip a 3rd ring. Okay, so I have just... Yeah, I have enough. Okay, Ring of the Baneful helps stains accumulate more quickly but reduces defense. Recover own HP. Oh, makes prediction time easier. That seems like...
Sis likes this one.
This ring looks great with my sword.
Okay, so I have none for Saki. The next one I get, I guess, will be one for her. So let's continue. Although I and Saki have finally caught up with Ouroboros again, he's been completely consumed by his baneful blood. Swinging his sword, his beloved daughters, Ouroboros speaks. Kill me, he begs. My question is, they are able to use their baneful blood whenever they want. And it doesn't seem to be affecting them. Why did it make him go insane? Or will it eventually make them go insane? I mean, he doesn't... Let's say he's in his 40s. His daughters appear to be grown, or at least high school. So, yeah, let's say he's in his late 30s, early 40s. Wouldn't this have happened much sooner? You know, as if he's been fighting like this for at least a year? Or what's the time? I don't understand this plot. This is a plot held together with pieces of string. And they're frayed and they're falling apart quicker than anything. I can't follow the plot of this game. So are all of her rings on just the same hand? Yeah, all of her rings are apparently just... Although only one really glints, I guess is the word you'd use for that. Okay, I'm just going backwards to the same area yet again.
Father! Father!
Aya. And Saki, too. You made it.
And the frame rate dies every few seconds. There's a lot of hitching issues in this game.
Kill me.
But why?
I'm at my limit.
You could just stop using your powers.
You have to kill me.
Where did you get the samurai armor? The others, they lose clothes. How did he gain clothes? Whoa!
Just when we finally found him.
How do I... Oh, there's... Whoa!
He's one of the undead.
How did he... So, I still don't understand who's to blame for this. Whoa, nice try. Come on, Daddy-o, let's see what you got. You were pretty fun to fight the first time. Let's see if you still got the mojo. He's not even hitting me. This is he's got a lot of health, but it ain't doing him no good because he's not able to hit me. Am I supposed to be impressed or something? So that's how I do the Virgil move. What the heck was that? How many swords does this man carry on him? Whoa. Nice try. It's hard to build up my ecstasy gauge against him.
Father taught me.
Okay, your turn. Man, we're already wearing down his second health bar. Whoa. Well, you're telling the truth about one thing. You literally have been of no help. You've done nothing but been a terrible father. There we go, come on. Okay, he's got one more health bar.
Leave it to me.
Say what you will about that. He doesn't seem to... He's just standing there menacingly. Whoa. Did that actually hit me or did I dodge it? I couldn't tell. Okay, that one definitely hit. Whoa. Okay, now he's doing something. Whoa. Why wasn't he doing all this from the beginning? Because now it's actually a somewhat interesting fight. I still wish there was actually more than just a gimmick to the actual character switching, because unfortunately it does seem like more of a gimmick than an actual I need to do this if I want to survive sort of deal. The main time I switch is when I build up the whatever that gauge is called. Bye, Dad. So did we cut off his arm, or is it just in the clipping through the ground?
You've grown up. I was unable to teach you anything.
But you were with her.
But you've become so strong. Your mother surely recognized the power you had inside you. My swords. I had names inscribed on them.
Let me guess, red and blue, so I and Saki.
Names?
Your names. After you two were born, I hated to leave you, to go off and fight alone. Having your names there made me feel like you were with me, in some small way. But I no longer deserve to be called your father.
At least you're talking sense now.
Oh, Father.
You know, instead of saying I'm sorry, I'd be the asshole that said, daughter, learn to put some clothes on.
As your father, I just wanted to be a hero.
But you've been nothing but a hindrance throughout the plot of the entire game.
There's your mother. She's come for me.
No.
I'd say let the old man go.
The Bloodline is a cursed one. It shouldn't exist in this world.
Then why did you have kids?
Ava and the others who use baneful blood for evil must be eradicated. Otherwise, more people will suffer. Aya, Saki, use your baneful power for the good of those who can't fight for themselves. I'm sorry. I was never a good father.
I was about to say, this man's death rattle is going on too long. Now, who gets that sword? I'm guessing Saki, because it's about the same kind of Odachi as she uses. Okay, because the door open, I'm going to imagine that maybe Ava did do something to him.
Let's go, Saki. To finish what Father started.
This is still ridiculous. This is one of those things where I would just be the one who said, let's just walk away. You know, I don't understand the plot of this. If this guy says that his baneful blood is a curse, why have children? either his pullout game is crap, or he doesn't. What's the point? Did he like discover this revelation after he had his kids? I don't understand. It's one of those plots that either the translation is so bad that they don't know how to translate it properly and make a decent story out of it, or there's nothing to work with. I mean, the idea of this game is a bunch of girls killing zombies and stuff. I mean, while scantily clad, that's not exactly, grade A material, but James Gunn and Suda51 got together to make Lollipop Chainsaw, and it at least had funny moments and a pretty concise and clear story. And this reminds me of like a lot of Lollipop Chainsaw, but just the worser points of that game. And that game is kind of rough. It hasn't aged super well, but it's still enjoyable. I'm going to play it on the channel at some point. If I can figure out what to do about the music. I don't want to get copyright strikes, because there's a lot of licensed music in there. I'm going to assume this is just a boss fight. With the hands, I feel like I'm back in Elden Ring.
So, Obero is dead, is he? What a shame. He never did manage to defeat me. Men of baneful blood never return to this world. Once they've gone berserk, anyway.
So is it just the men that it affects? And also, why does her microphone sound like she recorded this on her cell phone and emailed it in?
As if nothing ever happened, dear Saki.
That was all your fault.
You're the fool who ate up every word I said.
Man, her
Shut up.
English voice actress doesn't
Really vulnerable then.
the microphone doesn't sound right.
So vulnerable that I actually believed your bullshit.
I thought you were hypnotized. I don't understand. Is she hypnotized?
Swear I'll kill you.
Or was she willful servant? This game is confusing me. Why am I standing here fighting a Lady Gaga cosplayer?
I must live. I must devour your hearts.
Why did she paint targets on her tits, too? I don't understand this.
Mother and father.
So is this the actual end of the game? Whoa!
Why are you trying to kill me?
Well, because...
Your mother is dead.
Whoa.
Now you want to avenge your father? The fool who tried to kill you? You two are fools.
They are kind of foolish, I'll give him that.
Fools?
Whoa.
You may be right.
Whoa! Okay, so she actually is a plausible threat.
Our father was no fool. He burned his life to ashes, fighting for the ones he loved. And I'm proud of him.
Are you proud of him for
Whoa.
throwing his life away? All for the sake of pointless sentimentality.
Even if our baneful blood drives us mad, they still fight for those who can't fight for themselves. Slice to pieces. You drew your
Okay, I done took...
stolen hearts of my mother and others of the
What the heck? Oh. So why is she invulnerable during this?
You'll never defeat us with power that's not rightfully yours.
Good thing I can literally dodge every single one of her attacks. Come on. Okay, she's down to 2 health bars, or I think it's 2 health bars. I don't even know. I don't care. She's losing health faster than anything else. She's the most well-designed boss out of all of them so far in terms of proper, like, wide swinging moves, but she's just too easy. Every character in this game on normal is too easy. Okay, so she does have baneful blood. Whoa. Whoa, crap. See, she has such long delays between each swing. If they sped her up quite a bit, she'd actually be a plausible threat. Okay, down to her last health bar. Especially when I'm playing as Aya, I can just, because I got that new ring, I can dodge every single move. Oh, she's gonna swing the sword into the ground, isn't she? Yep.
My father taught me.
Come on. And this should be it. What the heck was that?
It's over now.
Got her. So, do I not ever get to play as Rey? Or what was the point?
I can't die yet.
So she's gonna run away. How much more to this game is there at this point? Oh, there's her. What the heck? That's not how... Okay. That was kind of badass, but what the
I
heck?
mean, how long were you planning on letting them pull your strings? The organization. Those assholes. I started slaughtering them. And it's done. I've killed them all.
She's going nuts, it looks like.
Now I'm the only one. It's just me. I'm finally the Origin.
What does that mean?
I am finally alone at last. But there's still something missing. I want to be like you. No, I want to be you.
She's gone nuts. So now we have to fight Rey, so... When I bought the DLC, it had her on the front, so I figured that she'd be a playable character.
I want to be you.
Okay, so now she's of the Baneful Bloodline. Did they just tell the actress to act like she was in the middle of a sexual experience?
Will suffer.
Where did we go?
So you ended up being yet another one driven mad by baneful blood.
But she didn't have any, did she?
I'll take your sorrow away.
Also, I like metal, but I'm not big on this kind of screechy, screaming death metal that they're playing now. It's not even really, it's like Asian idea of what metal is. I don't understand what this is. Also, maybe if it was a little higher, I could hear it. Okay, now she's an actual proper boss. Oh, man, she's such a good boss, she actually killed the frame rate.
My dear Saki, I still hate your guts.
Oh yeah? Guess what? I hate your guts too!
Okay, now it's turned into Mean Girls. Whoa. Whoa. Steady on, girl.
Father taught me this. It's weird. All this time I've spent with you, you've been so kind to me.
Whoa, whoa.
You know what I like and what I don't like. You actually took the time to learn about me. It feels so nice. I just realized that.
Okay, come on. She's at her last health bar. Let's just finish her off now. Especially since I can dodge pretty much all of her attacks. Man, I'm just rolling.
We're all going.
Okay, start heading back towards it. Whoa.
We're all going down. Leave it to me.
So did she just dodge that or what? Okay, apparently, yeah, I really need that ring equipped to Saki because it helps with her dodge time quite a bit. And we're done. I'm honestly surprised that they let Ava die that quickly, that easily. I mean, I guess it's an interesting twist, but good lord.
You're so strong. You're amazing. I wanted to be you.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, she's pretty important to the plot of the later games. She was like in the one on the Wii and the Xbox I played, but this is apparently, like I said, a remake, so I wonder what they're going to do if they do a sequel or a reimagining of the others now that they killed her off. But I haven't played every Onee Chanbara. I played the one on the Xbox 360 and the one on the Wii. And I never played Z, so maybe she's dead in Z? I don't know. Or Z2, I should say. Z1 was on the PS3 and never came to America. There's a lot of these games that never translated over. I can see why, honestly. It's just... if this is the end of the game, I'll talk about it. We still have the DLC missions, but I don't know how long
Mom.
they are.
Father, watch over us, okay?
Shall we get going, Saki?
Where are you going?
Yeah.
I mean, it's done. I mean, it's over. There's nothing left.
My name is Aya.
Man, the frame rate is...
And I'm
why are
the
they
heiress of my
jittering
father's
so
swords.
much?
My name is Saki. And I'm the heiress of my mother's fighting style.
My life.
Couldn't you give
once
one sword
defined
to
by
one and
combat,
teach the fighting
has
style to the
changed
other?
greatly. Baneful power must be used for the good of those who can't fight for themselves.
With great power comes great responsibility.
And Saki will always be my reason to fight on.
I have a sister I love dearly. She believes in me more than anybody.
Why is this becoming
I don't
so
wanna lose
cheesy?
a loved one ever again.
Father,
Mom. We will fight on.
What is there left to fight? You did it. Game over. I don't understand. Maybe there's more. Maybe that's where the first game ended. Nope, that's it. Thank you very much for playing. We love you from all the staff. Okay, I can't skip this. And I know this song is probably copyrighted, so I'm going to cut this. Okay, I can't skip this at all, so hopefully it won't be that long. Okay,
What are we gonna do about food?
there's more dialogue.
Well, what did you used to eat, sis?
Oh, instant food Ray would send over mostly.
Ugh, you're kidding. Hey, if we can manage to find some ingredients, I can make something.
What? You mean you can cook?
Oh, a little. What would you like to eat?
Wow. Let's see. Maybe pasta? And an omelet. How about some stew? And pancakes for dessert?
You can eat all that?
Right now I could. Well, actually, always.
Really? I guess it's time to put my skills to use then.
Woohoo! Okay, let's go get some supplies.
Sure thing, sis.
Okay, so is that all the additional dialogue? Yeah, it was. Okay. So the theme song is over, so I'm back in the edit. I'm going to go ahead and, I guess, try to do a couple of the bonus missions. I don't know how long they are, but I guess I will, and then I'll just go ahead and give my final opinion on this game. There's like 10 DLC bonus missions. They're like $1 a piece or $1.99. There's no like season pass that can get them for you. Okay, return to the main menu. Did I unlock a new enemy character? You can play the bonus missions. Okay, see, there's 10. Okay, play bonus missions to enjoy battles in an arena. So is that Bloody Palace? Infinite Survival. Memories with Father. Father loses his sanity. A shitty father. Fight to the death. So is this just boss missions? So yeah, that's where you play as Ray. Okay, so I'm not doing an infinite survival mode, so when they say this is a story, is this just cutscenes? Oh, I can actually...
What? This is what I always wear.
Oh, so you mean just
This is what I always
her
wear.
second or first outfit. And then, yeah, so you can actually have DLC costumes, but they're completely...
Let's go.
I'm not paying money for costumes. I don't like that.
Father, you were strict and strong and kind. I owe all my skill with the sword to you. But that was long before I even knew the meaning of swordsmanship.
Aya, I'm amazed at how you made it through such a harsh training regimen. But today, your training comes to an end.
Again, the microphone don't sound right. It's like they just decide to have these people come back and fill in lines.
As a master of the sword.
All right. I won't go easy on you just because you're my father, you know.
That's why I'm proud to call you my daughter. I won't go easy on you either. Now fight!
So is this just a boss? I thought I was supposed to hit him. Why is this just... Are all of these just infinite arenas with a little bit of zombies in it? Or what's the deal here? This is literally just the level from the start of the game. Okay, come on. If this is an arena, if it ends up saying like wave 2, I'm just going to quit because I'm not going to record me just fighting in an arena and seeing what kind of high score I can get for a minute or two. Okay, I'm popping. There we go, come on. Man, there's a lot of the harder red enemies, too.
My father taught me.
There we go. My health's actually really low. Okay, I'm popping again. Okay, I wish they didn't lock you in the animation for so long because I'm losing health. Okay, of course, the last dude is way down here.
It's over now.
There. Is that it? Oh, now boss fight time. What the heck is that supposed to be? And he's only got one health bar.
Think you can dodge this?
Yeah, apparently I can. I feel like this should have just been part of the actual game, you know, instead of selling me this as the DLC, because this is not...
It's over now.
If this is the end of this fight, I'm going to be sorely disappointed. Because look, I'm already staying at full health.
Father taught me.
Okay, I'm out of my berserker mode. Come on, old man.
It's over now.
There we go. And finisher. That's the bonus mission? Decided.
Well done, Aya.
Father!
You are a fine warrior. I have nothing else to teach you.
But I want to learn so much more from you, Father.
You're not a child any longer. Use your training to fight for those who can't.
Okay,
fight
that
for
looked like that was
themselves.
edited strangely.
And of course, never stop honing your skills.
What I don't get is if she's supposed to be like a samurai type,
Will.
you know, she should have two swords, which I guess later, you know, she does inherit
Everything.
her father's two swords, but, you know, why does she only... Clearly, he uses two as well. So that took me less than 3 minutes to complete that bonus mission. And one is literally a Bloody Palace style thing, so... I guess we'll just play through the rest real quick. Okay, now they did mention in the first game that that's one of the reasons that he ran off and left her. But I thought it was because their mother, his wife, her mother, was attacked.
Why did you call me here?
You know why. For your training.
Didn't you say those days were over? But whatever. I'm happy to train with you.
Okay, so yeah, he is acting strange, but yeah, I was expecting a little bit more just than a sudden attitude shift, and that's it. Okay, wow. So, she has an attack that can be easily interrupted. That's not really a good idea for a final string of your attack to lock you in place. Oh crap, I'm in bad shape. Are you serious? Okay, so I better try that one again. One of the problems with this game is that a lot of your moves lock you into animations, and when you're in those animations, you're stuck, and then enemies get a lot of free hits off of that. See, it wouldn't be so bad on its own, but when you start putting these bigger enemies in the game against you... Ow. Especially, see, stuff like that where you expect me to parry in order to fight the enemies. Am I supposed to just leave them then? Okay, try again, I guess. This is a really sudden difficulty spike compared to how the rest of the game is. Whoa. See, I'm just getting smacked around. And, whoa. See, I hate those. That's the worst enemy, because when you have to switch up your entire play style to beat an enemy, that's not... Okay, so why not just say continue instead of pressing you want to quit? Whoa. There, I got him. So now just gotta focus on the other couple. Okay, now come on, that should have been a parry. Whoa. Okay. Shit fire. So the enemies essentially take, what would you call it, a quarter of my health a hit? And I'm expected... Maybe I should have leveled up health after all instead of just pure attack power. Man, the frame rate. Steady on, girl.
It's over now. My father taught me.
Okay, got him. And there's more of them spawning, because of course there would be. Ain't no rest for the wicked. Okay, got him. Got him. Whoa. 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 It's hard to fight these wolves when you're low on health and you know that you gotta avoid attacks at the same time. How many more are they gonna summon? Okay, at least I was able to get him with that move. And I'm not regenerating. This ring of regeneration that I have only restores like 1 health every few seconds. Okay, not another one. Whoa. Oh, are you serious? Okay, try again. We only got about 10 minutes left, so maybe this is like the most difficult one and I can cover through the rest. Because I'd like to at least play through the Ray ones. There's not apparently an order to these, maybe except for Ray's. Okay, come on. That shouldn't have counted. This is bull. So what was I supposed to do? Level up my health? Yeah, they're taking about 200 health a hit. that one took a lot more than that. Why can't I do the ecstasy attack? I'm hitting the button. Unfortunately for me, it didn't kill anybody of importance. I wish that you could kill more than one of these at once, because that really is annoying. And how... bullshit. Okay, maybe I'll try this one later. If not, I mean, I'm not imagining it's just a cutscene at the beginning and a cutscene on the back. Okay, now this is just another... So all these are just boss fights against the dad, pretty much, which in my opinion was an okay fight, but I don't want to repeat it. So this is what you consider bonus missions?
Forgive them. Not my good-for-nothing father, who killed Mom, and not I.
So,
dear Saki, you poor child. Let me tell you. The greater your hatred, the stronger you become.
no, the more irrational you become. So yeah, she was hypnotized or indoctrinated.
Who was it that stole your beloved mother from you?
My good-for-nothing father.
Yes. How could anyone forget a thing like that? Look, he's right in front of you. Kill him.
Okay, so they put the father as the boss like 3-4 times in these bonus missions. Combine that with a couple of low-level boss... So this is literally just like survival arenas with higher-tiered enemies. And they called it a day. So why not just include these missions for free? Because these were not worth the $10 I paid for them. I'll tell you that much. Whoa. Okay, I'm literally hitting air. I still say her takedowns are really cool. It's a shame that there's not more proper animation to them. Oh, come on!
Damn undead. Give me that.
And I'm not even able to regenerate health with her. Oh, this is not a fun time. See, it's just hard enemies. And not really any rhyme or reason as to why you're doing anything. Just the bare minimum, just... It does nothing to help the story. I wonder if Ray's will be... I'm going to skip ahead to one of Ray's missions after this.
Damn undead. I'll mow you down. Give me that.
Okay, how many more of these things are there? I think you've proven your point. Okay, I'm about to lose. They really just wanted to make something difficult here, didn't they? Oh crap, he's still alive. I'm not facing the right direction. How many more hits? It's not even fun, and I'm dead. Okay, I'm going to say this. I don't like these bonus missions. A fight to the death. Saki's brain. Okay, so again, it's just a fight against Ava. Aya. That might be fun. Battle with experiment. The newly created clone in order to. So this is again. That's literally. It's all recycled boss fights. What? Poison experiment number. Okay, so these... Okay, so I'll try this one, and then if it ain't no good, I'm not going to play the others. What do you mean, select a character? What do you mean, select a character? Did they really make me pay for DLC that... I can't change my partner? I don't understand. Select a character. What are you saying? I'm hitting the button? Let's try a different one. Okay, I don't know what that means, but I'm pissed that I paid for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 missions that are either glitched or I'm missing some sort of link that I'm supposed to do to get them. That's some bull. Okay, so let me go ahead and give my opinions on this game then. This game is on sale on Steam for either... I think it's $49.99. It might be $39.99, but I'm pretty sure it's $50. And that's not including the $10 worth of bonus missions that 6 of them don't even work. And a myriad of problems, which I'll go through. I talked about it in the first episode, but the game is not natively set to English. It's set to Japanese. So when you start the game, you will still have this screen, but everything's in kanji. You have to go down to the second from the bottom, second up from the bottom, menu tab. Get over here to the display settings, so the big gear, it's the same even there. And then go to voice language settings, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and then second one in order to get to English. And not a big problem, but that should have been something that they fixed right away. You know, set the game to your computer settings or whatever. You know, there's a lot of things that you can do there. Second off, the game is clearly designed for replayability because there are only... There's only 25 chapters in the game. And according to this, the longest chapter I ever was on was 11 minutes. Most of the time, they average out at about 5-minute long missions. So, according to Steam, I've put about 5 hours in this game now. So, this is like the 5th, maybe the 6th recording. I think it's recording number 5. So, for 5 hours, for $50, that's $10 an hour, not including the bonus missions, which don't work, and that's another $10. So, it's a $60 game for 5 hours worth of content and less than 30 minutes, probably, I'd say, worth of bonus missions if you could get them to work. The story is terrible. I think I understand what they're going for, but either they need to actually hire a writer that can tell it a little bit better, or they need some better vocal direction, or what. Towards the end of the game, especially the Ava character for the last bit, her dialogue sounds like she's sitting in a bathroom stall with her cell phone, recording it, and then just emailed the audio file to them. It's very boxy and tinny sounding, and I noticed that in the bonus missions, their father sounded the same way. The lip dubbing is messed up. It's clearly meant for Japanese voices, and you might enjoy the game better if you put the voices to Japanese. I don't know. But the subtitles say Lei, and then the character's name is Ray, or Leah, or Ray, whatever, I don't know, however you wish to pronounce that. That's another problem this game has. And there's not a lot of combos. The items are so expensive that I only bought 3 rings throughout the entire game, which I guess it wants replayability, but I feel like that's not necessary for me to enjoy this game. Realistically, I got this on sale for $40 with Onee Chanbara Z2 and another game that's like a spin-off set in the same universe, or is like 30, 35, I think it's 30 to 40 bucks. I can't tell you exactly the exact price, but I can tell you I still feel like this game is not worth it. This game is worth maybe 30 bucks, you know, retail, and get it on sale for 10. I don't recall a lot about the older Onee Chanbara games. I might go back and play the one on the Wii, because I still have my copy of that, and I don't have an Xbox 360 anymore, so I don't know how I would record that one, but I don't know if I would even bother anyway. But realistically, I would say I'm pretty sure this is a budget title. It's not so bad, but if I was going to play a game featuring scantily clad women fighting zombies, I'd rather play Lollipop Chainsaw. It was a better game. It had better acting, better story. The combat was a bit wonky here and there, but this game's combat's pretty wonky. The PC version, which we played through, has a lot of frame rate dips and stuttering, which is a massive problem to this game. Like I said, bad voice acting. Not the voice acting serviceable, but the way it's presented, terrible lip dubbing, terrible performance on PC on a GTX 2080 Ti and an i7 processor. The fact that the game starts in the wrong language and a lot of several other problems make this a hard game to recommend. If you're really itching for a hack and slash game, or you're wanting to get your rocks off playing it, you do you. However, I will say this. I've went back and I've looked at pictures of the original Zombie Panic 1 and 2, or Zombie Zone and Zombie Panic. I can't remember what all they were called. They were never released in America. They were released in Japan and then in Europe. And I saw the screenshots, and I will admit, with the anime art style, I think the game looks better. But realistically, these are just not that... There's enough combos that you feel like you're doing something. And it's got serviceable enough combat. But it's trying too hard to be a mixture of DMC, or no, not even DMC, it's more like Bayonetta and Dynasty Warriors. And it fails at both. When you get to the end game and the red enemies start showing up, they're tanky. The Mudmen, or whatever they're called, are the most annoying enemies I've ever seen in a video game to fight, almost, because they require a completely separate playstyle to beat them than any other enemy in the game. The boss fights on normal difficulty are laughably bad. The best fight was against Saki, and that wasn't even the best fight. The greatest fight in the game was against the 2 zombie sisters. That was when I was having the most fun. And every other boss, you know, whether they're serviceable or not, there's either too much delay between their attacks, or they'd only have like a few moves. Like I said, this game feels like a budget title. I think that this series would have some potential, but I mean, it'll never really... It's going to always be one of those games that has a niche place in the market. I don't think it would ever really go to AAA standards, but I think if they put more money into the parts of the game that make it work, such as the combat system and the character swapping, maybe added in, because I remember, I think it was in Z2, from what I was reading, you can swap between 4 characters at once. Add better AI for the companions and swap in more characters, and I think you'd have a somewhat fun game. I'd like to see more of the series translated to English, because I don't think it's right that a lot of games just get stuck in another language and never get translated over so people can experience them if they want to. but I would not put my money into it. And so that's all from me. I hope you guys have enjoyed this series. Sorry I couldn't get the bonus missions to work. I don't think you're really missing anything anyway. Thank you guys so much, and hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening.